So today we want to take a quick look at the company Meta Platforms, a company formerly known as Facebook, and do some quick due diligence. And we hope you will stick around to the end of this video and you can hear my opinions on potential future resurgence, resurrection of Meta Platforms of Facebook and some of the risks to watch out for and listen to in terms of a stock to watch, a stock to buy. So I'm on the new company info page for Meta Platforms. You can see the Facebook company is now Meta, and we'll look at that page in a second. But if you scroll through this company info page, you can see they're really focusing on community. They highlight some, their size, how much money, how many users, how many messages they're sending. It's really focusing on culture, etc. And one of the things I'll talk about later on is one of their risks, one of the threats, the issues they've had in the past is trust, right? A lot of people don't trust some of the Cambridge Analytics thing. Other things they've had with going in front of Congress, etc. They have trust issues. So you can see in this company info page they're really trying to focus on principles, community, trust. It looks like they're trying to patch up that trust issue. So I really wanted to point that out, as that seems to be the focus on this new company page. You can see, they're a global company. I thought this was very interesting too, is towards the bottom of that page is the history of the company originally known as Facebook. It was founded in 2014, Mark Zuckerberg, etc. And then we can see some of the evolution. They came out with a messaging app in 11. They bought Instagram in 12. Again, that's a major focus, and we can talk about that. Then in 14, they bought WhatsApp and Oculus, and again, this is then going to be the focus in their Metaverse, their Meta platform, and we'll see that when we jump over to the Meta page. And then they've got a couple other things, workplace, portals, there's another thing called Novi, and now we're talking about Meta. So now the company formerly known as Facebook is now Meta Platforms. Again, you'll see their primary focus going forward is Meta. And again, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll talk about, where do all these potentially fit in, how can they survive, how can they evolve to a next generation. So if we quickly jump over to the Meta page, welcome to Meta. And I'll put links to both of these pages, the direct links to them, in the description box below for your quick and easy reference. But we can see now this page is all focused on Metaverse. So going forward, their focus is on the Metaverse. Now, again, as we'll talk about towards the end of the video, this is going to require a massive investment on their basis to grow out this Metaverse, become the leader in this Metaverse, build a platform. And again, that's a major point that I want to bring up, is Facebook has always needed a platform. They need to control their own destiny. And again, I'll go into that in more detail, but you can see the focus on Oculus, virtual reality, augmented reality, smart glasses. And again, this is something they're working on. They have Oculus, they're working on smart glasses. That would be augmented reality, mixed reality, etc. Then they have Oculus. I do know Oculus seemed to do quite well over the holidays. I know quite a few families bought Oculus for their kids, and we can talk about some of the opportunities there. Then you can see they're focusing on immersive learning, innovation. Again, this is all future Metaverse stuff. So again, I'll leave the direct links to these pages in the description box below. But now let's do some initial due diligence and look at it in terms of right now. In February of 2022, is Facebook a stock that you want to buy? Or when might you want to buy it? And we'll talk about that. Okay, let's do some really quick due diligence on Meta Platforms, a company formerly known as Facebook. Their ticker is still FB, like Facebook. I'm on their profile page in ChartMill. I'll leave this direct link as well as our affiliate link so you can get your copy of Chartmill to use. We really like Chartmill for quick due diligence. We can see in their profile page a quick scoring. Technical rating, technical analysis rating is very poor, no scoring. Setup is neutral to poor. We can see the valuation is a little low. Growth is a little above neutral. Profitability is very positive, and health is very positive, and they don't pay a dividend. Then you can scroll down, you can see their profile, etc., and some news. So if we can see a brief overview of the chart, and you can see the major drop after their earnings. We'll talk about that a little more in a second, but essentially that drop is due to poor guidance with their user growth going forward. They missed expectations in terms of their user growth and the guidance going forward. And we'll talk about, why do we think that might be the case, and is that trend going to continue, or is it going to improve? So again, if we look at their detailed stock chart, we can see this major drop-off, continuing decline. Again, this is all because they missed user growth, and their guidance for future user growth is deteriorating. And again, that's all primarily based on their existing products, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And again, in a minute, I'll give my opinions as to why that might be the case and how they might rectify that. If we look at the technical analysis for Facebook, we can see they got a setup of, it's a neutral setup, so it's saying from a technical standpoint, it's pretty neutral, but it looks pretty bad when we look at the chart. It's better performing in their sector. You can see short-term negative, yearly is negative. So again, the technical analysis is generally poor. It's getting an overall rating of 0. So this is telling you, you don't want to buy this anytime soon from a technical analysis standpoint. If we look at a fundamental analysis really quickly, we can see that comes out much better. They're currently a very healthy company. They generate a lot of money, they generate a lot of revenue, they have a lot of cash, etc. So it's a healthy company, but going forward, the stock price is looking pretty bad. So we can see they're very profitable, good return on assets, great profitability. Valuation, it's a little high. PEG ratio, it's okay, but maybe a little high. Price to book's not great. But again, with the recent stock price decline, that made their valuation much better. Growth, it's very positive. So here it's showing a positive growth, but again, they got punished severely for the guidance and the recent user growth. So again, this is showing all the metrics are saying that growth is positive. Company health is great. It's an 8 out of 10. Altman Z is great. Current ratio is good. Quick ratios, it says they're generating a lot of cash. They're very solvent. They have a lot of cash. So again, from a fundamental analysis, the company is great. From a technical stock price analysis, it's very poor. If we look at what's happened with the analyst ratings recently, you can see 83% buy. We've got some strong buys, some holds. So analysts are saying, despite the recent decline, it's not a sell. But a lot of people are obviously selling it for a number of reasons. So again, price target of 407. Again, 67, it's well covered. It's pretty stable in terms of buy ratings. So again, very stable from an analyst standpoint. But again, the stock price is in severe decline. We can look at their estimates going forward. And we'll see, we'll look at the chart in Webull in just a second. I think it's easier to see there, their financials, etc. So again, this is a very quick due diligence in Chartmill. And again, it says their technical setup from a stock price standpoint is very poor, but the fundamental analysis is very positive. So let's talk about what does that mean for their future, and we'll continue. Okay, now I'm on the stock screen in the online browser version of Webull. You can get your version of Webull and get 2 or more free stocks with our affiliate link, including the description box below. If you do a quick search for FB, the symbol, bring up their stock screen, we can very easily see their stock chart. We see this massive decline on the earnings and continue trailing off. Again, it doesn't even necessarily appear that it's got a stable support yet. But let's look. If we bring up the lower tab here, we can see some additional information that's useful for doing due diligence. I like this view in Webull. So we can look at their financials in a graphical standpoint. We can see their income has been generally positive. They didn't miss on this latest quarter, and again, that's caused a stock decline. Their balance sheet decline. Well, and again, opinion, they're spending a ton of money to build out this Metaverse, and therefore their balance sheet is going to suffer. It's missing expectations. Again, that's going to cause a stock price decline. Cash flow is very positive. They're generating a lot of cash. So again, that's very positive from a fundamental standpoint. Their financials, return on equity is okay. Return on assets is generally positive. We can look at their income statement. The net income it's been a little bit choppy. Again, this is probably lockdown reopening, seesawing. Revenue's been positive, increased recently, so revenue was good. Operating income, again, a little choppy, but up lately. We look at their balance sheet. Again, we can see this debt is increased dramatically, although the total assets is stable. Liabilities has increased a little bit. We see cash flow. Okay, so cash flow is increased. So again, very positive. They're generating a lot of free cash flow. All of those are positive factors, and we'll talk about how that can feed into their eventual evolution into this meta platform. We look at the analysis. They've got 60 analysts in Webull. We've got strong buys, etc. We've got a current price of 216. We've got a high estimate of 466. And I'm sure Facebook is very optionable. So again, this is something, if you were to buy it for the long-term future, you could write covered calls against it, generate a dividend, etc. For yourself. Since they don't pay a dividend, you could generate a dividend by writing covered calls against Facebook. Now in a second, let's talk about my views as to what could they do to rectify their stock price situation, their overall situation, to eventually evolve into this meta platform, this Metaverse company, leading company. Okay, now I just want to very quickly give you some of my views and opinions on where is Meta Platforms now, what can they do to improve their situation, their stock price, etc. in the near term and in the future, and how can they possibly evolve into this Meta Platforms and succeed in the next generation. One of the, and maybe I'll have to do a more detailed SWOT analysis for more detail on this, but let's talk about where they are with Facebook right now. Right now, Facebook has some trust issues, and also you'll hear a lot of people say, you know, only old people are on Facebook. One of the things I want to propose is that that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, the younger generations may not be using Facebook or Instagram, but the older generations have a lot of money and are willing to spend the money. And one of the things I think Facebook should do is target their core audience and not focus on trying to get the younger generations to use Facebook and Instagram, etc. Focus on your target market. Sell to that target market. There are plenty of companies that would love to be able to target advertising to the older generation. So that's one of my major comments is I think if you hear them refocus on their core market, who is their customer? Well, their customer is older generations, and they can capitalize on that and make even more money. And if you see revenue growth and they position to get analysts, etc., to focus on the revenue growth and the ad rev growth rather than increasing user growth for Facebook and Instagram, I think they will do well, and I think the stock price will recover. Now, what's the other major issue is they want to evolve into this metaverse company, this meta platform. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I believe they have always needed a platform. Right now, they are at the mercy of the platforms that Facebook runs on, which is Apple, Google, etc. And you heard that the change in the privacy rules on Apple significantly hurt their ad revenue, which is why, and I think Mark Zuckerberg understands this, and that's why he's trying to build out the metaverse platform, as he understands he needs to have control of his own destiny, which means they need to have their own platform, which means they need the Oculus, they need the VR, they need the smart glasses, etc. So to get from here to here is going to require massive investment, so you're going to see a massive capital investment to get to this metaverse, be the leader in the metaverse area. Well, Facebook has the opportunity to generate a lot of cash flow, generate revenue that they can then invest to cross the chasm to get here. So I think they have that opportunity. The key is, are they focusing on that? Focus on your core market to generate the cash to invest in crossing the chasm to get to the metaverse. So again, that's my opinion, and that's what I want to be listening for, is are they focusing on generating revenue with their existing core audience and then investing in building out the platforms to get to the next generation and become the leader in the metaverse. So please let me know in the comments below what you think of this video. What do you think of these opinions? What do you think of this view on Facebook? And again, I think if you start hearing those things, then Facebook may become a long-term buy, a good long-term investment. If you don't hear that, they keep focusing on trying to get the younger generations, then I would stay away from it. So again, I hope this all helps. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. I hope you liked this video. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon to be notified of further videos on this channel. And share this with your fellow traders around the world. Thank you. I hope this helps. Good luck and have a great trading week. Bye. The content of this video was produced by Beach Bum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the Beach Bum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, Beach Bum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our Beach Bum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our Beach Bum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you.